What does the airport, the planning department, and public works all have in common? Find out next on Inside St. Lucie. Hello, welcome to this edition of Inside St. Lucie, SLC TV's monthly government affairs show. I'm your host, Eric Gill, Communications Director for St. Lucie County. Now on today's show, we're going to talk with St. Lucie County Commissioner James Clasby about the airport, public works, and the planning department. But before we meet our guest, here's some upcoming events and announcements from the Board of County Commissioners.
Save the date as Santa makes a special stop in St. Lucie County for Brunch with Santa at the Fenn Center on Saturday, December 13th from 9 a.m. to noon. Guests can enjoy a delicious holiday brunch and get their photos taken with Santa. Admission is $10 per person and includes a variety of breakfast and lunch options. Ages 5 and younger are free. Visit stlucieco.gov for more details and to register. St. Lucie County offices, libraries, and attractions will be closed Tuesday, November 11th for Veterans Day. Additionally, county offices will be closed Thursday, November 27th and Friday, November 28th in observance of Thanksgiving.
Now, to find out more about upcoming events and meetings from the Board of County Commissioners, we hope you'll visit our website at stlucieco.gov and click on our comprehensive calendar. And if you'd like to be added to our press release distribution list, you can send us an email at pio@stlucieco.gov. We're also on all the social media channels at St. Lucie Gov, so we hope you'll follow us there. We're going to take a quick break. Before we do, we're going to check in with the latest economic development stats.
St. Lucie County's tourism experienced a small decrease in August as revenues dropped 8% compared to last year. However, overall tourist development tax revenue was up 10% overall for the fiscal year. Overall building activity in St. Lucie County decreased by 25.8% in August with 833 applications compared to July. However, the division experienced a 12% increase in revenue last month and a 27.5% increase from the same month 1 year ago. According to the Florida Realtors Association, the median home sale price in St. Lucie County for August was $400,000, a 1.2% decrease from a year ago, while condo values decreased 9.6% with the median price at $298,450. St. Lucie County's unemployment rate increased slightly with August rate at 5.1%. Statewide, the unemployment rate increased to 4.4%. The largest increase in the labor force in the Treasure Coast was in education and health services with 1,200 jobs, followed by government with 600 jobs, and then construction and trades with 200 jobs. According to CareerSource, non-agricultural employment in our area increased by 1,400 jobs, or 0.8%. If you work for a local business looking for skilled or trained labor, be sure to contact the staff at CareerSource as they can assist your company with its recruitment and training needs. And if you're an individual looking for a job, they can help you as well. Visit CareerSource online at careersourcerc.com or call 1-866-4U-to-HIRE.
Welcome back to Inside St. Lucie. I'm your host, Eric Gill, Communications Director for St. Lucie County, and I'm joined by St. Lucie County Commissioner James Clasby and our Airport Director, Cameron Howard. And I guess the official name is the Treasure Coast International Airport and Business Park, but we just call you the Airport Director.
Hey, I'll answer to whatever.
Okay. Well, and Commissioner wanted to have you on because there's been a lot of news. Actually, it's almost been a year since we got our Part 139 certification, which means we can accept commercial service. So I think you want to start with an update on where we are on that process?
Sure. So it's been exactly a year. Last October, we got our Part 139 certificate, which, as you know, basically gives us permission from the FAA to allow commercial flights. But in doing that, we also had a lot of work to do kind of behind the scenes to be able to accept commercial flights. So, we've got the terminal renovation that's ongoing. We're just about to wrap it up now. We've got a commercial parking lot that we're starting. We expect it to be done December, January timeframe to allow for more parking at the airport. And then we're working with TSA and FAA to kind of make that transition from kind of a general aviation airport to a commercial airport as smooth as possible. So we're getting there.
Commissioner, what's your thoughts on the airport? Because I know, some our county to the north or city to the north has commercial service now, and actually now I think 3. And I think that what I found was interesting, once you get your Part 39, once you can't really deny a commercial service carrier. Is that correct? Or
correct. So once a carrier announces that they want to come in, you pretty much can't say no. It's kind of up to negotiation at that point. But assuming everything falls into place, they're coming.
And so, part of the reason why I wanted to have Cameron on here is Vero. Vero's getting commercial airliners, and I'm getting a lot of heat for that. A lot of people are saying, well, what's going on with St. Lucie County? You made a big noise about this 139 and all these things about getting that. But now, why is it that we don't have an airliner yet? Why is it we don't have a completed terminal yet? These sorts of things. So I have a couple questions, just kind of asked a couple people what they'd like to hear from the airport director, and like to make sure we get an official statement out there on it. So first of all, how close are we to securing a commercial airliner at the airport?
So obviously we're limited on what we can tell the public, but what we can say is that we've had interest from multiple airlines, and we are currently in negotiations. So once everybody agrees to what we're negotiating and everybody's comfortable with what's ready to be put out there, we'll make an announcement and everybody will know.
So that's interesting. That there's some things that are kind of confidential until a deal has been struck. And I watch stuff on the internet, and
because you can always believe everything you read on the internet, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And some people have thrown out specific names, but we're not allowed to do that. I've had people press me, well, who is it you're negotiating with? And I say, well, we can't
staff
really
is
tell you.
negotiating, but yeah,
Right,
yeah.
correct.
Right, we're not quite to that point yet.
Right.
Because we don't want to run anybody off at the same time too, or tip somebody's hats. There's
Right.
industry trade secrets.
Yeah, I mean,
and,
we run into a situation where if something gets out where maybe they're not quite ready to make the announcement, then we're in a tight.
and
spot.
I've flown out of Vero. It's not that super convenient. I mean, we've had some delays there, with 2 hours waiting at CJ Cannon's. I mean, at least they had some food there. But
CJ Cannon's does have a fantastic
Yeah.
breakfast. I used to go there with the Builders Association once a
I
month.
mean, not to plug an outside county restaurant,
right.
but it is.
Well, speaking of restaurants,
Yeah.
the APP Jet Center will have the new updated Tiki Bar restaurant
Right,
soon.
so we do have our own restaurant run by APP, which is the FBO on the field. They are undergoing their own renovation, so we're not necessarily a part of that, but we are excited
Those
to
are our
see
property,
to
yeah.
see the final product.
Do we have any idea of when that would be done?
I think they've aligned it so that it's ready for about the time when the terminal's done. So it's close as well.
Okay, great. Another question that I had is, I'm on the county commission, obviously, and I've been seeing a lot on the consent agenda approving various items for the airport. I'm assuming a lot of these security-related things were required to get a
Right.
commercial airliner out there. Could you maybe just go over some of the open projects we have that are required to do that? When they may get done, and then as far as what are the next steps are there additional projects we need?
Right. So you mentioned security. TSA loves security. So we recently completed a fencing project that went around the entire airport, the runways, taxiways, and completed security fencing for that. We're also working on our badging system. So the TSA requires everybody on the airport now to have a badge, which makes sense. So everybody has to apply for it, go through our office, go through a background check to make sure that they are who they say they are, and we verify that they need to be where they say they need to be. So we're working on that. We anticipate that to be done probably November, December timeframe. So it's very close to the end as well.
Okay. And the terminal is an ongoing project currently. I know we've had a couple delays with that contractor.
Correct.
And we're currently trying to work our way through that. Is there any end date in sight for the actual opening of the terminal?
Right. So the actual terminal itself is near completion. We're very, very close. And once we have a date and we're comfortable with everything, I'm sure that we'll have some sort of a grand opening ceremony to kind of kick that off.
Okay. So we're looking at end of year for major projects out there?
You're really trying to tie me to a date.
I
I get it. Yeah. So end of year. Yeah, I'd be comfortable saying that. This year.
Okay. Just clarifying. So another topic of interest that's come up about the airport outside of just the commercial airliners is the thoughts of maybe a second FBO coming in out there.
And for those that aren't in the airline business, FBO means
fixed-based operator. So that's where private aircraft owners or planes come in for fuel and parking and everything else. So yeah, to answer your question, we are seeing interest in a second FBO. We've had a few people approach us and with the interest of opening up a second FBO. Nothing concrete to announce yet. Like everything else, I can't really say much about it, but we are in negotiations. So we'll see hopefully in the near future.
Sure. And so like what are the advantages of having two FBOs on our airport? Is there an advantage to having one, or is it better to have two?
So as you know, we have one right now, which is APP. Bringing in a second one would drive competition. That means for parking, hangars, fuel.
Fuel.
I mean, it just drives competition. APP's been a great partner for us over the years. They have a lot of hangars and a lot of interest in the field, but a second one would potentially drive competition for us.
Okay. One more other thing that I'd like to cover on this is the market update for rental rates out there. Could you just give us a brief overview of what's going on with that and when that took effect?
Right. So the FAA doesn't really like to sell property, so they typically prefer long-term leases. So with the long-term leases, you get locked into a rate for 50 years plus. What the rental rate review allows us to do is kind of set a set date in the contract where both parties agree. We go through and have a survey done where both sides agree on the final number, and we just adjust the rent, which we just recently did with APP.
Okay.
And if you don't mind, Commissioner, if you could expand on it a little more, because I think people would be surprised at how many tenants and businesses are out at the airport. I mean, we've been out there. There's Chips Paint. There's MROs or maintenance, rehab, and overhaul facilities that work on engines. There's flight school. There's a lot of businesses. I mean, technically, even Alamorada is kind of in the airport park.
Right. Yeah. When you say airport, a lot of people tend to just kind of jump towards pilots and airplanes. But the reality of it is there's so many other career choices, not just airplane pilots. You have the maintenance mechanics, line guys, fuelers. The list is virtually endless.
But I remember there was a study probably about 5 years ago, I think, from the Department of Economic Opportunity from the state showing the economic impact. There's like 4,000 jobs out there that aren't county employees. They're private businesses
They're
operating.
private businesses that just operate at the airport. Yeah. So, and we do have a few other projects. You may have heard Aero West being mentioned before. So that's a project where we're working on kind of expanding on a taxiway and opening up some existing green space for new businesses to come in. So we're excited about that as well.
And that was going to be probably my last question for Cameron, was with the economic impact of commercial airlines coming to the airport. And it may also segue into a Ben question a little later. Yeah. But as far as the development that comes with having an airport right across the street, I've heard potential rental car, hotel, ancillary businesses that complement commercial airliners.
Right. Yeah. So Florida is really kind of a destination market. So you've got people that who wouldn't want to come to Florida, right? So you have people coming in, renting cars, staying in hotels, eating at restaurants, shopping. It's really kind of an economic engine for tourism. So I anticipate the airport not being the only one to see benefits from this. It's the surrounding businesses.
Okay. All right. Well, Commissioner, is there anything else you wanted to bring up about the airport or questions that you had from the public? I mean, one I know that we get a lot is, if we get commercial service, do we dictate where the flights will go?
Unfortunately, no.
Yeah. Because I always hear, well, you need to go here, go there.
Right.
And I don't think we have that control. Because it seems like even the Vero ones, it's mainly Northeast, Connecticut, New York, Jersey. But I think they're going to start doing North Carolina soon, which, makes me happy. But you go see family, but, but I'll give you a list of stuff that we can get. Vegas would be cool, right?
Yeah, email me.
Yeah.
I'll see what I can do.
I think the main thing for people watching to know is that St. Lucie County is actively working to get the airport up and running with commercial service, as we've promised and as we've spent a considerable amount of money on so far. And we will get it done.
Yeah. Yep. All right. Well, Cameron, anything else you want to mention?
That was
it. Wrap up the show, Commissioner? We'll take a quick break and we'll come back and talk to our Public Works Director. Welcome back to Inside St. Lucie. I'm Eric Gill, Communications Director. I'm joined once again by Commissioner James Claspy and our Public Works Director, Patrick Diane. Thank you both for coming on the show. Commissioner, let's start with you because you got to pick the guests today on today's show. So why did you want to have Public Works, Airport, and Planning on?
So it all goes back to what I campaigned on, really. My signs literally said better roads and lower taxes. So one of my very favorite departments is Public Works. We've fought for some road prioritization at a few of our public meetings so far as a county commission. And one of the most proud things that I have is that we have prioritized Glades Cutoff Road to be one of the next roads that we have funded and we are going to be working on. It's a road that I believe is the worst one in the whole county. There's a lot that
there's some in
that
Fort Pierce. I don't mean to dog out Fort Pierce,
Yeah.
but I live there.
There are a lot of competing worst roadways, but we are definitely going to be working on all of them. while I'm here. And Glades Cutoff was actually one of those roads that I actually filmed a campaign video with a drone, just to show how bad roads can be. I'm looking today to have Patrick give us some updates on what we've funded in this fiscal year as far as Glades Cutoff Road goes, and some of the ancillary projects around there, some timelines and that sort of thing. So,
Patrick, why don't you kick us off? Because I know
Appreciate
timelines
that.
on road projects aren't quick. And it's
You're absolutely right. It
timeline to
depends.
start construction, at least.
well, either
certainly,
the permitting process or the.
It depends
PD&E.
on what it is that you're doing with
Yeah.
that roadway, right? So we'll kind of segment them into two major categories. One is restoration, basically maintenance, right? Whatever is there, we're putting back. And then you have anything that's not maintenance. So you're improving, you're widening, you're adding even sidewalks and bike paths. Those take a lot of advanced time, looking at design, permitting, survey. You might need some land acquisition. So there's a long lead time associated with that. So I just want to reflect back to what the commissioner was talking about and really be thankful for the board's trust in us to really develop and to invest in the infrastructure that we have here in the county. And the worst road in the county, that's not a trophy I want on my mantle. So, but we do want to talk about Glades Cutoff Road because we know that that's a very important roadway for commerce. There's a lot of growth that's happening in that southwest area. It is a designated freight roadway, so a lot of heavy trucks use that roadway. And so for this coming year, we're actually going to be resurfacing the section between Midway Road and Selvitz Road. That goes in front of the county landfill. It goes in front of Southern Eagle. It goes in front of a lot of the Walmart distribution center, a lot of really important businesses, a lot of heavy vehicles that go along that corridor. So what are we going to be doing? Well, we're going to be fully reconstructing the section from Selvitz Road south to about where the Turnpike overpass is. That road is so bad, to your point, that we can no longer do a resurface on it. We have to fully reconstruct it. And then from the Turnpike section south to Midway Road, the road's a little bit better, so we can scratch off about a couple inches of asphalt and put it back to something called a mill and resurface. The total cost of that is about $2.3 million. Now, because that's a maintenance activity, it is not subject to permitting, so we can turn that around relatively quickly. We intend to start sometime in the first or second quarter of 2026. The duration of construction is not yet known, but it's probably going to be in the matter of weeks to months. It's important to note that residents can expect to be driving on some scarified surface or maybe some prepared base. And so while you're driving through these construction zones, it's important to make sure that you're looking at the flagman and the construction workers and following their directions because it is an active construction zone.
Can we just clarify what a scarified road surface is?
If you've ever driven over a roadway, after you're doing a mill and resurface, they've ground off the layers of asphalt, and you'll see it looks almost like a grill grate, like a diamond pattern. And when you're on that, you may not have the same sensation as you do as a normal asphalt road. It's a little rougher. The slopes may not be even, so you might have some wheel tracking that goes up and down. So it's just one of those times where you want to slow down a little bit, make sure you're driving appropriate for the conditions. There are some railway crossings that go across there. It's important to note that we're not going to be touching those railway crossings. So if drivers approach those after we're all done and they see that those rail crossings still look the way they do, that's because FEC programs their own resurfacing, and nobody is permitted to work inside those FEC crossings. But that's something that's really exciting coming for that section of Glades Cutoff Road. A little bit further south, we know that there's been a lot of interest lately about the new Wilder development, or LTC Ranch. That's south of I-95 and where Commerce Center Drive connects to Glades Cutoff Road. There is a signal that's planned there. It's obligated by the developer that will be in place. It may be in flashing mode, but it's going to be operational right now by the end of this calendar year is when it's projected to be there. And then big picture, the county is about 2/3 of the way through what's called a Planned Development Environmental, or PD&E study for the 4-laning of Glades Cutoff Road. That's the very first step, and it's a necessary step towards state or federal funding being applied to that roadway. The limits of that PD&E study are Range Line Road all the way over to Selvitz Road, about a 10-mile stretch. We will be having some public information meetings late this year. That's going to be looking at different alternatives. Do we want bike lanes on there? Do we want off-street paths like a multi-use path? So those kinds of options are things that are available to us, but that sets us up very well for future roadway planning on the widening of that roadway.
I've been hearing from a lot of people that parts of Glades Cutoff seem narrower than they maybe should be at this point. Is there any part of the project that's going to be perhaps widening lanes or adding to the shoulder?
Thank you for that question. So one of the things that we look at is if we do have deficient lane widths with any of our resurfacing projects. We did this with Shin Road, we did it with Range Line Road. We will widen those to the standard 12-foot width and install what's called a safety edge. which allows for a location if you happen to run your wheel off the edge of roadway and onto the grass, there's a slope there to help you recover. So we would be installing that if we find that we have narrow lanes.
Okay, and so another roadway segment that we've discussed in my office, at least, is the Selvitz Road area, where there could be a realignment of where Selvitz Road goes through. Could you just give us an overview, first of all, of where we're at with that sort of project approval, and then a description of what exactly I'm talking about?
That is a very exciting project for us. This is really looking at the Selvitz Road section from Edwards Road south to Glades Cutoff Road. We are at a 60% design, and this is a total reimagination of that road corridor. For those who are familiar with that road, you'll notice it's got a lot of curves. Some of them can tend to be blind curves. They're what we call super elevated, so like you're on a NASCAR track. They're not very comfortable as you drive around because you have a lot of bumps on those. It really is a safety issue. The bridge over 10 Mile Creek is too narrow. It doesn't have any sidewalks. It's too low. When 10 Mile Creek stages up high in water elevation, you're close to overtopping that bridge. All that is going to be redone. And as you move further south, the roadway will shift entirely to a whole new alignment. We're working with the folks that are the Diamond R fertilizer plant, which is on the corner of existing Glades and Selvitz. They've agreed to basically remove the alignment as it is now and place that roadway further to the west. And the roadway will be a continuum of Glades Cutoff Road. So basically, if you're driving on Glades Cutoff, you will merge onto Selvitz Road as it is today. That does a couple of things for us. One, it removes that really nasty intersection at Glades and Selvitz, which anybody knows that hot right that you can take, and it falls apart, and it's very, very close to the railway crossing, which is a safety issue for us too. So we're eliminating all of that. As I mentioned, where we are in design, our next really critical path is finding a pond site on the north side of the creek. Mm-hmm. We need one on the north, one on the south. We are working with Diamond R to put a joint use pond in there that helps us out, but the one on the north side still to be determined. We do have that project funded out of impact fees, and so we are really just awaiting the design to be completed.
Impact fees at work, I love it. And just to clarify, this project does extend all the way to Edwards Road to the north. And I know a lot of people in Carriage Point that are really excited about this because it's dangerous. You know, there's a lot of younger drivers in that neighborhood and even older drivers, and coming out of there, it's just so dark, and like you said, it's almost like you're going over a NASCAR bank to get onto Selvitz there. And you know, it's just one of those things that it's about time that we're able to get that going and get it done, and even better that we're using impact fees for it.
And Commissioner, if I can segue too, because Patrick, you mentioned stormwater ponds. A lot of folks may not realize that you have a stormwater division in Public Works, and we've had heavy rains. A few weeks back, we were inundated with rains, and I know when we have these events, and hopefully we're still not quite out of hurricane season, hopefully make it through unscathed this year. But you guys, I know when there's storm, you guys go out and checking drains, checking swales. Well, we also need residents to help us out because we can't get into every culvert, every backyard. I mean, and people don't understand too that some of those swales are water management districts, and it may be a small one or a large one. It may be a city, it may be a county, it may not be us. And we created an email for folks to report issues. At one point, we had an app, but no one was downloading the app. No one has a room on their phone anymore.
I was using it. But
were you? Okay, you were probably only one of 100 that downloaded it. But
and before Patrick goes with that, you know, if you go to the county's website under Public Works, where report road maintenance, they accept all forms.
Yes,
it's actually kind of humorous because they have a link to do the form stack submission, which is the online way to do it, and then they have a mailing address, and they have a fax number, and an email address, and a phone number.
Sure.
So really, any way that you would like to report it, that they're willing to accept it. So
but how have you guys made through the storm season with the rainy season and going out and addressing some of the issues we had during the rains?
Yeah, to your point, we've been incredibly fortunate so far in this hurricane season, which is not over yet, to not have a direct threat to our area. We do get those afternoon storms that just tend to dump a lot of rain and overwhelm the system. Those have been in acute areas of the county. If we have some knowledge of some impending weather, we shift gears and we implement the protocol that basically everybody, because you can't mow when it's pouring down rain and you can't pave when it's pouring down rain. So we shift all those staff members to basically ride around the county. We know where our problem areas are. We check those preliminarily, and then we go around to other locations, making sure that drains are clear, that there's nothing clogging pipes, that there's not debris that's been put in the place of a pipe that it could block and unfortunately add up to some flooding. So we really do shift focus, and as you started the conversation, we do rely on our citizens out there. We really look at them as our partners. With the staffing that we have, we really can't be everywhere all the time. So there's multiple ways to contact us. 462-2511 is the number. flooding@stlucieco.gov is our email. You can email your commissioner. You can go on our website and submit a request for work to be done on a roadway. Really, we try to be open to any kind of communication. And even if you're in the city of Fort Pierce or the city of Port St. Lucie, you may not know which road entity takes care of your roadway. So if we submit that, we work very well with our partners at both cities. So we pass that along and make sure that it goes to the appropriate person.
And that's usually the first thing that I get a lot of complaints about. Potholes is usually the first thing, but the county also takes complaints about whether your swale has been maintained appropriately, because that's usually a function of the county, unless you're in an HOA that they maintain their own. But that's also a request that can be put in. And whenever I get complaints and calls for service, I'm always sure to either convince them to put the ticket in under Public Works website, or we assist them in putting it in. That allows me to then ask George for an update on that ticket and where it's at in the process. It keeps it official, and it allows you guys to prioritize it a little better than somebody calling and complaining directly to you. So it's always best to get the ticket in so you can track where your particular complaint is at in the process.
And one of the things our former public works director Don West always taught me, and I love this analogy, when he said our storm drains are designed to have about 4 inches of water per hour, roughly, right? I don't know if that's still the standard, but and sometimes we get more than 4 inches of rain in an hour.
That's right.
And so when that happens, then the swales overflow, and then the roads become the secondary means to collect that water to keep it out of the houses. But people may, I get reporters all the time like, these roads are flooded. Well, 2 inches of water in the road is not technically flooded. You don't want to be driving through it probably, because you never know what's underneath it, but it's designed that way so that it doesn't flood the homes, and it goes in the roads, the swales and then the roads, and But is that still kind of? And are we looking at longer term? Like maybe we should design to handle more capacity because we are getting more rains, or
That's such a good question, Eric. And I don't know that I would put a number on what our system can really have at this point. We used to use 7 inches. After 7 inches, it really is. It's anybody's game. But the reality is that stormwater management is a balance, right? Back when Florida was developed, it was let's dig a straight canal straight to the ocean or to the river and send all the water out there. Perfect, problem solved. But what we realized now was that's not so good for our environment, our estuaries, our rivers. So now we're trying to hold water back, and we're making sure by holding water back that we clean it before we discharge it to our very sensitive ecosystems. So somewhere in between there's a balance, right? And that balance is going to rely on what that system is designed to handle. So after a certain amount of rain, either too intense or too long of a duration, you're going to see flooding. And one of my mentors from the Water Management District had this great saying that he said, flooding doesn't happen when water comes, flooding happens when water doesn't leave. So that's really the thing that we want to think about. If everything is working as it should, and it's raining cats and dogs, if you give the system time to bleed down, eventually you'll see relief. If it is really one of those massive, massive events. Because we cannot design for that 10-inch rainfall that happens in an afternoon one day. You're going to see some areas that just go underwater, but as long as it all dissipates and goes out, then you get relief eventually.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of the water quality too. It's one thing to manage the flood water, but it's also important to make sure that it's held for a little bit and filtered. I meet with Public Works in my office on Mondays, and we had an agenda item coming up for baffle boxes, and Patrick and Chris wanted to make sure that I was good with the final acceptance of the baffle box. I said, well, they're baffle boxes. You're good with them? Of course. Why would I not be? So. And
you guys have done a lot of that too, just STAs or stormwater treatment areas. Right. And I know a woman online one time said, you just built a pond. Well, it's more than that. There are natural vegetation that filters that water. There's alum, right? You guys have some alum treatment.
Yes, and really we're taking it a step further besides just a stormwater treatment area, which is a fancy way to say pond, wet pond, dry pond. We're really trying to create a neighborhood amenity. So we're looking at creating a path, not necessarily a sidewalk, but a path for people to be able to walk, some passive recreation. We're planting native vegetation to create habitat So we're creating some areas that maybe restore some of the damage that our area has seen over time with wetlands being wiped out. But all of that comes into play with
Yeah, I
cleansing
think
the
a
water.
great example of that is the Indrio Savannas, the work you guys are partnering with ERD. That was an old sand mine. There's a big lake there. And when we first started doing that work, residents thought we were building homes and they were freaking out, but we were really just connecting the natural wetlands to this man-made pond to help with the water quality.
Yeah.
And that project's almost done. I think
It's about done. Yeah.
ERD's working on the permitted
That's
bridge
right.
to get over that and reconnect the trails. But again, that gets back to that. These public works projects, they can also be recreational opportunities. So-
That's right. I usually equate things back to Martin County, Palm Beach County, because I like to look around at the different projects that are done, because you don't always have to reinvent the wheel, right? Anything that we're doing has probably already been done successfully somewhere else and can be used as a model. So in Palm City, they have a project called Ripple. You could Google that, and it's in the Palm City CRA. But Ripple is it's a stormwater project that's also a neighborhood amenity, where they did natural plantings, and it connects multiple individual scattered lots into the same STA, and it eventually runs out into the Indian River Lagoon. But doing things like that, I'm a big supporter of. It doesn't add a ton of cost at all to the project, especially because when you do something like that, it might make it more attractive for grant funding.
I was going to say, a lot of times you can get
You do.
multiple matching
right.
grants from Florida Community Trust and some of these other state and federal agencies,
Yeah.
and even private stuff. So,
That's right.
Absolutely.
Commissioner, anything else you want to touch on for Public Works before we?
Just one more thing. 33rd Street in Delaware,
Mhm.
very near and dear to my heart. I was really excited that very early on into assuming this role that we were approving a project there. If you could just give us a real brief overview of what's going on there.
Yeah, anybody who's driven that intersection knows there's a terrible hump in the middle of it. And so we've been formulating a way to really get around that while working with the schools that are around there. So we have John Carroll High School and St. A's that are right there, so heavy users of that intersection. So I'm pleased to report to you that we have now, we're approaching 90% design plans that will be ready by the end of this year for that intersection. The goal of it is to cure that nasty hump by really repaving that whole intersection and blending the elevations out so you don't have that abrupt rise and fall. And we're also going to upgrade the pedestrian facilities around there. So now that crosswalk will meet what the required compliance is for pedestrians to safely go across that. We're trying to do this in the summertime when school is out of session. However, based on the construction duration, we may blend.
Yeah.
The summer rains. We may blend into some of when school starts back in session. And I do want to mention that this is a partnership project with the Fort Pierce Redevelopment Agency. They are contributing a portion of construction funds. Construction estimated to cost a little under $800,000 right now, paid for out of the half-penny surtax. So a really exciting project for us to really help that area
But
out.
if you sit on the back of the bus, that's the best
That
part.
is the
when you
best
get
seat.
that
Everybody
hump,
knows
you
that.
You
Oh,
go sit
yeah.
over the tire,
Hey, tell the
right?
driver, go
Yeah.
faster, go faster.
You're right.
Well, Christian, you mentioned the half-cent sales tax, and I know you campaigned on lower taxes, better roads. What would you feel about? How do you feel about the half-cent sales tax?
It's funny that you should ask that. I did my first interview here on Inside St. Lucie with you before I actually swore in.
Mhm.
And at that taping, I explained that I thought that property tax was basically land rent. I still feel that way. Not a big fan of property tax, and that consumption tax was definitely the way to go. So this sales tax would be considered a consumption tax. And it's better because it's voter approved. It has to be for a very specific list of projects, and there is some sort of element of oversight. In our county, we have the Surtax Oversight Committee.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm a fan of it, and plus, I really only get a little bit of say, right? I get to get it initially out onto the ballot, and then
and
it's
let
up
the
to the
voters, yeah.
people whether they would like it or not.
Visitors contribute
I was
between
gonna say-
15 and 20%.
Absolutely.
help us
And
spread
it
those
gives
funds.
you a solid base of matching when you talk about state and
That's
federal
right.
grants. It gives us a reoccurring revenue source to do that. So.
And from what I've seen and what I've heard, that half-cent sales tax has been a big boost to getting
It's
grants.
been an absolute game changer. There would be no other way to do grant matches without that half-penny surtax. So it's been a catalyst for investing over $47 million back into the community over the last 7 years. Another $35 million is planned or underway. So we are really, really doubling down on putting more of that investment back into this community.
And just a recap from our last informal meeting, I did kind of warn George and administration that just because we got a half-cent sales tax and just because it may get approved again, that's no substitute for normal funding
Regular
of the
general
public
fund
works
funding.
budget. That's
Yes.
correct.
Yep.
Because roads have to be a priority, infrastructure has to be a priority in St. Lucie County.
All right. Well, Patrick, anything else you want to mention?
No, thank you. Appreciate
right.
having me.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks for your time. We're going to take a quick break. We'll come back and talk with the Director of Planning and Development Services for St. Lucie County. Welcome back to Inside St. Lucie. I'm joined once again by Commissioner James Clasby and our Planning and Development Services Director, Ben Balser. Thank you for joining us.
Appreciate it.
Well, Commissioner, you wanted to have airport, public works, and planning.
Yeah, I'm hoping to have the longest segment of Inside St. Lucie in history. One of the biggest buzz things out there, people ask me about as far as building department and building permits. They know nothing about the building department or the planning department, but they all want to know where is Buc-ee's at in the process. Why is the county holding it up? These sorts of things. Yeah. And I always tell them we are not. But we have on today the Director of Planning and Development Services just to give us some insight on where exactly Buc-ee's is in the process.
Somebody wants some beef jerky, you could tell.
Yeah.
I want some of those
I like their chicken
I want some of
tenders,
those
really.
beaver nuggets, right? And thank you, Commissioner Clasby. I appreciate that. So as Planning and Development Services Director, I also oversee the building department. So not only planning, so I can talk about both of those processes at one time. Since Buc-ee's received their preliminary approval for their planned residential workplace or retail workplace in 2024, August of 2024, they've been working with FDOT. There's a lot, as you can imagine, that goes into developing a Buc-ee's. It's a 76,000 square foot development. It's had 120 gas pumps. There's a ton of pass-by traffic from I-95. The state and FDOT are obviously involved with their interstate on and off ramps there, and they want to make sure that everything flows and functions right. So there's a lot of engineering that goes into it after you get your preliminary approval.
Right.
So they've been working with FDOT. We've had positive conversations there. They have submitted for a building permit. They have closed on the property, so they actually own the entirety of the site. So it is moving forward, albeit a little bit slow. But as you can tell, there's a lot that goes into developing a site of this scale. Recently, they have submitted for a resubmittal of their minor site plan, and that's really the next step in the development process in order to start turning dirt. So I could foresee potentially them receiving site plan approval by the end of the year. It's really a business decision for Buc-ee's on when they want to move forward.
Right.
But we're doing what we can in order to move the project forward, and all those conversations that we've had with the applicant have been positive, and they're still looking to move to Fort Pierce.
So minor site plan approval is the next major step in the county's process. And what was just recently completed, from what I've had conversations with you on, they were waiting some sort of 95 permit from FDOT to show how their impacts were going to deal with
Obviously,
95.
they're going to have a ton of traffic that's diverted off of 95. If you've ever been to a Buc-ee's, you've seen the lines that extend onto the interstate. They want to make sure that traffic flows efficiently. So FDOT is very, strict, rightfully so, in how that traffic management is accommodated and how the signals are updated and road widening and new on and off ramps. So that's really what they've been working out for the last, let's say, 6-7 months.
And have they received their final approvals from FDOT?
It's
in
it
the
has
final
been,
steps?
Yeah, it has been discussed with the county that they are fully compliant with FDOT and they're ready to move forward with their next phase. And I believe that because they have made recent site plan submittal to us last week. So they're moving the ball forward.
And even you said 120 pumps, so we don't permit underground storage tank. That's the state.
Yeah.
So there are a lot
There's
of
DEP,
different
environmental permitting, obviously South Florida Water Management for their stormwater retention. All of that goes into what they're doing right now as far as site prep and making sure that infrastructure is there whenever they start getting their building vertical.
Yeah, for the average civilian out there that doesn't pull building permits, they typically think, well, it's the county. The county's the only permitting agency.
Yeah.
Well, why are you guys holding them up?
Yeah.
It's like, nope. There's environmental permits. There are state highway permits, and
really, from the county's perspective, we're trying to fast track that by allowing them to do their building permit and their site plan concurrently. We offer that. It's at the developer's risk because things could change in the process and alter your building plans. But Buc-ee's has, a pretty solid footprint on what they want their design to look like. So they're able to take advantage of that concurrent review. So as soon as the site plan is ready to be approved, their building permit can be approved the next day.
Awesome. And you mentioned minor site plan. Just for anybody that might be listening out there, there's also a major site plan. So what is the difference in St. Lucie County for a minor site plan versus a major site plan?
So there's certain square footage thresholds. This project was preliminarily approved as a planned retail workplace. It's in the towns, villages, and countryside overlay, which is in that vicinity of St. Lucie County. All final site plans within the TVC are administratively approved through the minor site plan process. So they don't have to go back to the Board of County Commissioners. Major site plans go back to the board as if it meets that threshold as a regular agenda item, and you all see it and vote on it at a regular board meeting. Administrative approvals for minor site plans, staff does the same amount of review. It's looked at by the Sheriff's Department, fire, utilities, public works, environmental resources, planning, obviously, but I get to eventually sign off on it as the approver once it meets all the standards of review in our land development code.
So does that minor site plan go through that DRC meeting that I typically watch?
100%.
Okay.
100%. It meets, a project has to meet the same standards of review, whether it's a minor or major. It's just the approval path. It cuts down, let's say, 2 weeks to a month of time. We don't have to schedule it for a board and get that on an agenda. It could be a simple planning order that I can approve, and it obviously gets recorded.
And just to kind of pin you down on a time frame here, we're saying that minor site plan could be approved by the end of the year?
There's a lot of factors that could go into that. They're well on their way responding to staff comments, and why I say that, and just I'm hesitant to give you a time,
Sure.
is because there's the applicant's part of it, right?
Right.
They have to respond to comments. So let's say we have one more round of comments. If they turn those around quickly, there's no doubt in my mind that by the end of the year they could have an approved site plan.
And then just to get into the theoretical timeline here, once their site plan is approved, once their building permit is issued, do we have an anticipated, is there a standard time that it takes to build a Buc-ee's of this scale? Do we have any idea?
So I had our building official, our county building official, reach out to their construction manager this week just to get an estimated time frame. And I know that Buc-ee's representatives have discussed anywhere from 18 to 24 months. This construction manager actually said for something of this scale, he's thinking that he can get it done in 18 to 20 months. But they like to have that flex time depending on when they get in there, start doing earthwork. If they uncover something, they want to have a couple month window there where they can have some flexibility.
So we're looking at approximately 2 years prior to us gassing up over at Buc-ee's. Is that about accurate?
From the time that they start turning dirt, I would say that that's a pretty accurate estimation. It's not just the Buc-ee's site that they're developing. They're also, you have to think about their infrastructure improvements to DOTs on and off ramps there at
That's what I
95.
was thinking, the exit on ramp.
They're extending Cobelgard south and putting in a roundabout there. Cobelgard will be a 4-lane road right there. So there's some off-site improvements that have to be done, as well as the 120 gas pumps and the 76,000 square feet of retail travel stop. So there's a lot that goes into it.
Okay, that seems like a great update as far as that, because I haven't seen even a guesstimated timeline like that. People think that it's just not happening. There are so many things that goes into building a gas station of this size. So
Yeah, it's more than a gas station. It's an experience.
that's right.
And I don't work for Buc-ee's.
The Disney World of gas stations.
Yes. Well, Commissioner, what I think is interesting about the Buc-ee's phenomenon is like everybody seems excited about it, but there's a lot of no more growth. But this is a huge project. But I also, when I was driving to North Carolina recently and fueled up at a Buc-ee's, and I saw they were advertising gas, restroom attendants at $22 an hour and a car wash manager at $125,000 a year. So there is some economic opportunity here, as well as a tourism revenue, right? And we get revenue. We have Patrick on. A lot of our road repaving comes from gas tax, which has been on a decline. But when you put in 120 pumps, and
Yeah, and I'm glad you mentioned that. So I was also going to get Ben to give us an estimate of what do we think, because Ben's also kind of our economic development guru for the county. What do we anticipate the number of gas pumps this place has as far as how much local gas tax we'll be receiving?
So I don't know the definitive numbers, and I haven't quantified it in extreme detail, but it has been expressed just looking at other Buc-ee's in different communities and what their fuel output is, that it will be within hundreds of thousands of dollars in fuel tax revenue for the county, and we can use that obviously, as Patrick stated, for roadway improvements, transportation improvements, infrastructure improvements, all of which we need in St. Lucie County, and you're well aware of, as that's near and dear to your heart.
Absolutely.
Well, even sales tax alone, I mean, you can't go into Buc-ee's and not drop $25.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know, on
Yeah.
food.
We've all been
and-
there.
You got to get the stuffed animal,
Well,
the
yeah,
hat,
exactly. The Christmas stuff, yeah.
the lighter, with
Yeah.
the whole thing. Yeah.
So it could potentially be an economic driver in especially northern St. Lucie County. We'd like to see urban growth along the Indrio Road corridor. There's a number of developments that have preliminary approvals or final site plans. Bedner Farms to the north of Indrio Road, the Indrio I-95 planned town to the south. There's thousands of residential units that are slated for that area, and it just makes sense to steer growth where you have that infrastructure investment, you have the water, wastewater, and what the county's doing up in our northern part of St. Lucie County.
Sure. So, while we have you here, is there any other big development projects that you think were significant and that we should be talking about on here? We can always edit this out if.
Well, there's a number of different things. We have obviously our residential development growth, and you've seen a number of those projects. Our Oak Ridge Ranch project and our expanded urban service boundary south of Midway Road, that area. We're seeing exponential growth in that area of the county. I don't want to get too in depth on some of the projects that we're seeing out there, but we're seeing a number of industrial projects. Our board has been very good at creating jobs, incentivizing jobs with new industrial developments, and trying to boost that average wage of St. Lucie County and allowing people to actually live and work in St. Lucie County and not have to travel outside to Martin or Palm Beach or even further south in order to get a livable wage. We want those folks to stay in St. Lucie County and live and work here.
And Commissioner, one thing, I see a lot of comments too, people saying, well, the county needs to stop building. And I think we're not the ones building. I mean, and I don't know how to explain that to people, right? It's private, owners.
If anybody tuned into our meeting last night, which by the time this is posted, it probably won't be last night anymore.
No.
You guys don't work that much magic. When it comes to wanting to deny a project, there are very strict standards that you have to go through. It's almost like a courtroom session whenever you really get down to it, because when people are presenting items and development projects, typically it's either a land use planner or a land use planner attorney. And they are very much veterans at this. They know exactly what to say, and they know what to get you to say. So that way, if you do deny it, they can kind of turn it around in court. So I've been doing a ton of research on this, to the point where I've even had to read Snyder versus Board of County Commissioners 93, which kind of is one of the more landmark cases on, whatever the standards is.
Land use
Hopefully,
law.
yeah.
But it is kind of interesting. And you get that in the public. People are like, why do you guys keep building? And it's like, it's not really us. People have a right to develop their property, and
Well, my
or there's stuff that was approved 10 years ago.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's usually my explainer. First of all, is that the project that you're seeing was approved prior to me being on the board, just like Buc-ee's, right? If nobody knew anything about Buc-ee's being approved almost a year ago at this point,
August of 2024.
right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
a year ago at this point, and then now we're talking 2 years from now,
once they
it'll
get
pop
the permit,
up.
or 3,
And if they weren't following, they'd be like, where did this come from?
Yeah.
Well, things like this take a long time to develop, and then other projects get approved, and then they just sit on them and keep their development order active because of, I've been told, the governor, when they do a state of emergency and the developer decides to renew their order, a lot of times in that emergency declaration, it extends
Yes.
development orders.
Yeah, so you're 100% accurate. A lot of what we've seen in especially residential development over the last, let's say, 6 years has been those, we call them zombie subdivisions, that received their entitlements in 2007, 2008, and then with that economic upswing have now changed hands, and new owners looking to develop those.
Right.
And that's the residential development and growth that we've seen. The board really hasn't experienced, or the county and the residents haven't really experienced the growth that we've approved over the last 4 years yet, which could be scary for some because they're saying pump the brakes, but they really haven't seen what's going to come online. And I totally understand that. We're trying to be balanced in growth and trying to look at the need for housing and also the need for infrastructure improvements before we approve housing. And I think that you've done a really admirable job on the board.
Thank you.
And putting those and making sure that those come to light, that we don't outgrow our infrastructure.
And so I'm very well aware of the things that are still out there that haven't come to fruition yet, but are approved. And the county actually now has a public GIS map where individuals from the public can publicly view development projects. Could you just go over our GIS for?
So I have the pleasure of managing the GIS division as well in my role, and our GIS is Geographic Information Systems, if you don't know what that is, and it's a mapping system, and we have a lot of publicly available interactive maps that you can find on our county website. If you're a real estate person, a developer, and you want to know what the zoning district is, if you're a resident, you want to see what is going on your neighbor's property or your neighboring community. If you see earthwork and you're curious, you can go on our county website, zoom into that map and click on it, and it'll actually tell you the properties, what's been approved, what's happening on that, what the zoning is, where your utility lines are, who your county commissioner is. There's all kinds of different information that you can use, and it's right there at your fingertips, right there on our county website. So we try to keep those up to date as much as we can, and it's really a great tool, especially for those real estate folks that are wanting to know, what can I do on this property? What is my zoning? Self-serving, right? We try to cut down on the number of calls that we get just because we're extremely busy, but things that you can find out yourself, we'd like for you to go and have that resource. So that's why we made those interactive maps.
Sure, I know that Ben's heard me say it a bunch of times privately in the office. Maybe I've said it publicly, but now I will. I used to worked for a construction company, and I would often be the one having to do land use research for realtors that come in with a vacant lot. What size house can we put on this? What are the setbacks? These are always the first questions, right? Is it septic or sewer? These sorts of things. So making self-service things for people like me in that role that I had without having to pick up the phone, because believe it or not, my generation of people doesn't like to pick up the phone. We like to do things on the internet ourselves, or Google it, or use ChatGPT. And a lot of those things are becoming available for self-service, much more so now than back whenever I was doing it. Whenever I was doing it, going back to Martin County. Martin County was one of the pioneers in putting this information online, I believe, on the Treasure Coast at least. Yeah. And I think that St. Lucie County is right there with them at this point with the quality of information we put out to the public.
We're definitely trying, and now, as you know, all of our permitting is done online. You hardly ever have to come and step foot, if you don't want to, into the county building in order to apply for a permit and receive a permit. You could do everything from the comfort of your own home at your own PC. But we're always available if you need to. We have Planner of the Day services. We have our Plans Examiner of the Day that does over-the-counter permits for building permits.
You have a business navigator, so if you're interested in doing a home business or starting a new business, go meet with them first, and before you invest a bunch of money in it.
And to that end as well, I've been a big proponent of the county exploring the use of AI, especially in the planning department. I think that you can make planners' jobs a lot easier. Of course, you'll always need to have that professional planner with the experience that can look it over, because if you've used ChatGPT before or other AI platforms, you know that it's not always accurate. Sometimes it gives you something that sounds great, but then when you go to fact check it, you're like, wait a second, that's giving me information for Pinellas County or somewhere else, and it may be accurate, but it's not specific to what I need. But my goal is to eventually, one day, we are able to incorporate AI technology in plan review, that it can do like a cursory review, and then you have a professional planner go through their checklist and make sure everything's accurate. I think you could speed up something that takes 2 weeks into 1 week or less.
100%. I just was at a conference in Daytona, our Florida American Planning Association conference, and a lot of the private sector are starting to use AI for plan generation, and especially for visual graphics. You can put on a headset, walk through a site plan,
Mhm.
and see like the spatial relationship between buildings and landscaping, buffering between different uses. So there's a lot of different things that will be changing in the planning realm over the next 10, 20 years.
Yeah, it's exciting, and I want to make sure the county doesn't have to be on the cutting edge because we want to be a little conservative with this, but we need to make sure we're implementing technology where appropriate, for sure.
No doubt.
Yeah. Well, Ben, anything else that you want to mention about planning development services? Or
No, I think we covered it. I'm glad to be here, and I appreciate the opportunity to talk about Buc-ee's and all the other things.
Thank you, sir.
And Commissioner, anything else we didn't get to mention before we wrap up the show?
You know, one more thing is just to give a shout out and kudos to our Planning and Development Services Department. We really have a great experienced group of planners, a great director,
Thank you.
and I hear nothing but great things about our building official as well, from the Treasure Coast Builders Association and others. I mean, it's really just a very professional department, and if you were to just walk through there, you can see that there's always people busy working in their little cubicles. So
We have a great team. We really do. I'm just extremely happy to represent them, and I don't think we've ever been stronger in San Luis
Yeah, I'm
County.
glad you mentioned GIS too, because you stole my webmaster. So
Yeah, we love Ruben. We appreciate it.
Well, thank you both for your time today.
Thank you. I appreciate
Don't
it.
go anywhere. We're going to wrap up the show. If we do, we're going to check in with another public works project.
Cleanup and repair efforts along Eastwood Canal in Lakewood Park are underway. Tornadoes from Hurricane Milton in 2024 left uprooted trees, wind-blown debris, isolated washouts and slope damage, as well as heavy vegetative debris within the canal. The entire project spans from Miramar Avenue to North Boulevard, with cleanup efforts beginning south of Turnpike Feeder Road. Motorists are advised to drive with extra caution in the area. Residents are advised to not place trash or yard debris along the canal at this time. The project is expected to be complete in early 2026, with the debris removal occurring first. The USDA Natural Resources Conservation Service, through its Emergency Watershed Protection Program, is funding the project.
We hope you've enjoyed this edition of Inside St. Lucie. We hope you'll tune in again next month. If you have topics or subjects you'd like to see covered here on the program relating to St. Lucie County, give us a call at 772-462-1791 or send us an email at pio@stlucieco.gov. All of our shows are available on our YouTube channel at youtube.com/stluciegov. For myself and the staff, I'm Eric Gill. Thanks for watching.